So since Mark Anthony likes moderators so much, I have an idea. Now, you don't have to do this idea if you don't want to, obviously, but the idea here is that since he seems to think that he can just go somewhere else, that it's so easy, that, it isn't the point, that you shouldn't have to, that the principle of the matter is you're not hurting anybody by having your own opinion, even if it's an offensive opinion, that is your right as a human being, and nobody has the privilege or the right to take that away from you. Nobody can tell you what to do because who the fuck are they? I don't care what you own. I don't care if you think you're the boss, that, this is your property or whatever. The fact is, as a human being, I'm endowed with certain rights, and so are you, and so is everybody. I wouldn't say that, anybody else should be censored. I don't want to be censored. It's that simple. It applies to everybody. This is my problem with, the LGBT and things like that. It has nothing to do with the fact, when I compare the gay rights movement to white supremacists, I don't mean to say that they think they're better than everybody else. What I'm saying is that they want separate rights, and that makes things worse. They want rights for themselves, and then they want rights for heterosexuals, and you can't do that. The only way rights can work is when they apply universally. So unless a right applies the same way to a heterosexual person as a homosexual person, then it isn't a right. It is just a legal privilege endowed by a government, and it's going to lead to problems. That's just the reality of the matter. So that's why I oppose a gay nationalist movement, or any nationalist movement for that matter, because they don't actually want to preserve rights. They want to preserve privileges for their certain group. Whereas I'm actually advocating rights, universal rights. You have the right to freedom of speech. I have the right to freedom of speech. We all have the right to participate anywhere we so please without being intruded upon. And somehow that concept eludes Mark Anthony and people like him. Somehow they cannot grasp the concept of equal rights for everybody. Yes, even moderators have the right to freedom of speech. They don't have the right to censor people. They don't have the right to ban people. They don't have the right to, besmirch their account and sodomize it. But they do have the right to say what they want to say and think what they want to think. If they don't like what I say, they have every right to say, you know what, I disagree with you, Jim Prophet. I think you're full of shit. But they do not have the right to stop me. And they do not have the right to use their position and to use their programming abilities to somehow inhibit my right to say what I want to say and do what I want to do. So, is that such a difficult concept for you to understand? Apparently it is for Mark Anthony. So since it's such a difficult concept for him to understand, he needs to have it done to him. So what I advise for all of you is to block Mark Anthony. Now this doesn't stop Mark Anthony from technically being on YouTube. This doesn't even stop him from doing the moderator functions such as flagging videos and shit. But what it does stop him is from having an opinion. It stops him from being able to spew his ignorant bullshit. And while I don't want to stop his ignorant bullshit, I believe he has a right to his ignorant bullshit, he doesn't believe he has a right to his ignorant bullshit. He believes that the moderators know better than he does. So let's show him what moderatorship is like. You all should block him. You should then all slanderize him. Say that Mark Anthony is a child molester. Say that he plays with little kids' pee-pees and that, he went to jail for it for about 5 years or some shit. And there's nothing he can do to stop you. It's not like he can retort against you because he can't fucking post on your videos anymore. So, he can't even defend himself. And then the rumor gets out, and then people start saying that Mark Anthony's a fucking child fucker, or whatever. And he just has to deal with that. If he doesn't like it, he can go somewhere else. I'm sure there's some other backwoods YouTube with about 2 fucking videos and 20 views that he can go to if he doesn't want to get blocked everywhere and called a child molester. Because I'm sure that's going to undo the damage that's been done. I'm sure that's going to undo the fact that his rights were taken away by individual people. That's what I'm fucking talking about here, Mark Anthony. So, maybe you should think about that. Because unlike my friends, they're not as soft as I am. They're not as, tolerant as I am. They are much more likely to block you and to call you a fucking child molester. And that's exactly what you deserve. So, I guess that's it.